Hey there, new dads. It's your pal, the Amazing Fleck, talking about his first 3 days with his firstborn child. So me and my love, we went to the hospital real early in the morning on the 28th of March, just a couple days ago, about 4 days ago. Right now it's the 31st. So on the 28th, we went to the hospital around 3:30 in the morning. We arrived. The hospital was 1 hour away from where we were, so we were a little anxious about how long of a drive it would be, and with labor. And I've read a lot of material on how long labor can take. It can take, a couple hours or even days, or in some crazy instances, it can be weeks, where a lady can go into labor, or what they think is labor, and then they go back. So it's like false labor, false contractions, and all of that. But in our case, we started watching a movie around 1 o'clock in the morning, and she started getting contractions. And we started timing them, and then we came to the conclusion, well, maybe we should go in and call the hospital that's an hour away from where we live and see what's going on with that. And we're really glad that we did, because the lady who answered the phone said, well, you can take your time getting here. The dilation, they don't know about that over the phone, obviously, was at 2 for weeks, but which is a good indicator as to how far along you are and how close you are to going into labor. But everyone's dilation and their whole experience is very different, so that was interesting. So we were around 41 weeks and 2 days at that point when she started experiencing these contractions that were about a minute long and spaced apart a good amount of time, about 4 or 5 minutes apart from one another. And they went on for about a half an hour before we decided we should call. And then next thing you knew, we were in the car driving over to the hospital that we chose. We chose this particular hospital because we were interested in all-natural birth, a water birth, hopefully, if we can get into a pool of water, of nice warm water, and have the baby born in that way. There's a lot of good benefits to that. You can read up and do your own due diligence when it comes to what method of childbirth you're looking at with your partner, or if you came to that conclusion as well. I thought it was a wonderful way to do that. So we get to the hospital around 3:30 in the morning, and we get to a birthing room by 4 o'clock in the morning. We at first got evaluated with an ultrasound and an examination to figure out the dilation was closer to 3.5 or 4. So at that point, we decided to go into the birthing room. We got transferred over. They filled up the tub for us. And my girlfriend, she hopped inside the tub, and it didn't take very long for her and her particular experience. Everyone's birthing experience is different. Everyone's body is different. It's important to keep that in mind. But by 5 o'clock, 5:01, we had Astara, we had our baby with us. So that was just absolutely wonderful. The process was very, very difficult, of course, for my girlfriend. She looked in quite a bit of pain, as you might imagine, if you have to pass an 8-pound being out of your body. But she did such a wonderful job, and she didn't take any medication the whole time. I'm so proud of her. It was amazing to watch the whole experience. And my big dream was to be able to catch the baby as she came out. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that. So that was just an absolutely wonderful experience. I was on my knees outside of the tub, next to the tub, not knowing what was happening. And we noticed the baby was starting to crown. So that was my chance to take off my pants to get into my undergarments. So if I wanted to hop inside, but there wasn't even time for me to hop inside, because next thing you knew, the baby was out and in my hands, and I put the baby on the mother's chest, and it was just an amazing experience, absolutely amazing experience. And we spent maybe about 30 hours in the hospital after that. We were there for examinations and checkups and everything, and in the healing process. And that was a whole experience. Wow, very amazing how quickly your values can change, and what you think is the most important thing to do when you witness something like that and that happens to you. You can only hear stories from new parents. You can hear them, but to actually have your own and go through your own story is quite something. It's a whole other thing altogether. Of course it is, right? It's personal experience. And I can tell you, it was just words can't even do anything for it. I'll tell you that. The words, anything I can say here won't sum up how it makes me feel. I've never felt feelings like this before. Like, all of a sudden, you have, to put it this way, I've been waiting my whole life, I feel, for this thing that's going to happen, and preparing for this thing, not knowing quite what that thing is. And coming closer and closer to Astara's birth, I've noticed that I find myself real excited about their arrival, and knowing that I'm preparing for that, having trouble staying in the moment because I'm always looking to the future, trying to prepare for the next thing in line. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that applies to your personal situation. I think we're all searching for something. But after she was born and she was brought into this world, and I'm holding this tiny human in my hands and staring at her in the eyes, making this eye contact with her, and she keeps very good eye contact, and just holding her and staring at this tiny human, and realizing I've arrived. I don't need to prepare anymore. Of course, I have plenty more to prepare now, but I've arrived finally. This is something much bigger than myself or my girlfriend or the two of us. This is it. We're here now. Now there's no need to skip past the moment. I don't want to skip past and rush to the next moment anymore, because I want to be able to enjoy every moment I have with my daughter while she's this age, because she's never going to be this age again. Now, I know that we're never going to be our age again, but this is such a precious moment. She's a little less than 8 pounds, and she's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger from here on out. Going to learn more and more things. And all these moments that I'm having and we're sharing together as a family with our child, or with our baby, is going to set up the preconditions. And first, imprints, I want to use the word imprints here, will imprint the young, impressionable mind, and will give their frame of reference for the rest of their experience and the rest of their life. And to be aware of that, and to try to stay mindful with that, and try to have that degree of empathy of feeling that you might be that child too, and what they must be experiencing, and how they don't have words for it yet. They have no frame of reference of past experience. They have no habits yet. Except for the ones in the womb, of course, but now that they're in this world, to be able to play a role in establishing and helping them establish those habits, and figuring out who they are as they grow up, is going to just super exciting for me. I'm so happy that Astara's finally here. My daughter's finally here. And I'm looking forward to being the best dad I possibly can for this little one. So on day 3, we've had the baby home for 3 days now. She's been with us. We got out after, I said, about 32 hours. And at that point, we get back home, and there was just this exhaustion we both had. We couldn't sleep very much while we were there, as nurses and doctors and people needed to come in and out. By the way, U of M in Ann Arbor has a wonderful birthing center, an amazing staff. That is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful hospital, and it was well worth the drive. And I would recommend people drive even further to go there if they're looking into, if they're in the Michigan area, if they're looking for a quality, very considerate, welcoming, loving staff of people to help you with your whole entire birth experience. I can't say it enough. I didn't have a single bad experience with any of the staff there, and wonderful stuff there. So we spent our time there, and they were very considerate about checking on us, but not hanging around too much. They gave us a lot of private time to bond with our child, which was absolutely wonderful. And now we've been home for the past couple days, and it's wild. She's been alive for only 3 days now, and we're working on the 4th day. So tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., she'll be 4 years old. And I just want to be able to not be in a rush anymore. I'm where I need to be now. I'm right where I need to be. Except right now I'm not where I need to be. I need to get my butt home, because I just went grocery shopping, and it's time for me to go be a dad back at home. So thanks very much for watching, folks. This is a bit longer than I thought it would be, but for first-time fathers out there, this is my personal experience, and you can expect me to be documenting that at least once a week for the rest of this year, I think. Just to reach out to any other first-time fathers out there and share some experiences. Now, I know my experiences can be likely much different than most other people's out there. I've heard horror stories, and I've heard fantastic stories too. And our story, fortunately, has been very wonderful so far, and it's been an absolute blessing. I don't use that word lightly. An absolute blessing and honor, and just so incredibly heartwarming to hold this beautiful tiny human in my arms and stare her in the eyes, and of course look at my beautiful girlfriend Nina in her eyes too, and share those moments. These moments, they're not going to be able to be relived again unless we really live in them and maybe document them, and I can look back in this video years to come. And I hope someone out there gets something out of watching this video. I'm looking forward to it. First time father here, and I'll share the experience as I go along. I'm sure that my emotions will change as time drags on, and I'm thinking this video, I already tried signing off on it, and I'm still talking. So I got to get my butt home, go kiss my girlfriend and cook her some food, and hold my daughter for a little bit while she can go get a shower and take some personal time. Maybe get a nap. She's feeding every 2 hours. It's got to be so much to not have to be able to sleep, for more than 2 hours at a time. So, and then I have to email my daughter too. I've actually made an email address for the young lady, and I'm planning on emailing her every time she makes me proud and every time she upsets me, and let her know what's going on. So one day when she's emotionally mature, somewhere between the ages of 8 and 55, I'll give her the email address, and she can read all the old messages that she's been racking up her whole life from her friends and family and loved ones as she grows up. All right, folks, this is it. I'm out of here. Remember to never give up, to do your best, to stay true to you, and to be amazing, folks. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see each other in the next video. Until then, my friends, thanks again. Peace.